In the today's class, let us study the properties of S parameters. So, these S parameters having the 4 properties. The first property is 0 diagonal elements of perfectly matched network. It says that if your network is perfectly matched, that means to say if load impedance is equal to the characteristic impedance, then SII is equal to 0, where this I and I are nothing but the port numbers. Okay. If I take I is 1, then S11. If I take I equal to 2, it is S22. If I take I equal to 3, S33 like this. That is SI equal to 0, that is under perfectly matched conditions, then the diagonal elements are 0. So, the meaning of this is that if you closely look into this, we have S11, S12, S13, S14 like this. Then you have S21, S22, S23, S24. Similarly, okay, S31, S33, S34, S35 like this. So, like this, so this will continue, but here you can closely observe is here. So, whatever these particular diagonal elements are there. Okay. So, these diagonal elements value is going to be 0. Okay. The meaning of the 0 diagonal elements of perfectly matched network means all these diagonal elements, that is S11, S22, S33, S44, S55, what are the things you are getting. So, those values are 0. Okay. Next, consider the second property. Second property is that symmetry of S, that is S parameters for a reciprocal network. So, what it is saying is that second property, for a reciprocal network with no active devices, the S parameters are symmetrical. The second property is saying is that if you have a reciprocal network where no active devices are connected, then the S parameters are symmetrical, that is Sij is equal to Sj and I, where I and j are the port numbers. What it indicates that Sij is equal to Sji if I take I equal to 1 and if I take I equal to 2, so then it equal to 1 to, okay, because I value of substitute is 1 and j value of substitute is 2. So, this is equal to S to 1. And if I take I equal to 3 and j equal to 4 for an example, so then S34 is equal to S43. Okay. So, this is the second property. Now, let us prove this particular second property, Sij equal to Sji. We know that the total voltage of a multi-port network is Vn equal to Vn plus of Vn minus. That is total voltage across a multi-port network is, this Vn plus is the incident voltage and this Vn minus is the reflected voltage. Okay. So, whatever here the symbols have been shown plus and minus. So, one is indicating the incident and other is indicating the reflected voltages. Okay. Then for any ith line, because for a multi-port network we are having n number of lines, for any ith line I may be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this, then Vi equal to, that Vi here I means whatever the I work on, Vi equal to Vi plus Vi minus, that is for a particular line, the voltage at that particular line is the sum of the incident voltage and the sum of reflected voltages. I am repeating once again, for any ith line, the voltage in that particular line is the sum of the incident voltage and the reflected voltage. So, let us call it as equation number 1, and similarly for the same line, the current is Vi plus divided by Z0I minus Vi minus divided by Z0I means. So, this is indicating your incident current and this is indicating your reflected current. That is current across the ith line is the incident current and the reflect current, that is sum of the incident current and the reflect current. Call it as equation number 2. Now from equation number 1 and 2, okay, if you simplifying the equation 1 and 2, I will get the incident voltage is equal to 1 by 2, in the bracket you write Vi plus ZOI into I. So call it as equation number 3, and Vi minus is nothing but the reflected voltage. So this is equal to 1 by 2 into Vi minus of ZOI into I of I. Okay. So this is going to give the reflected voltage. Once that is from equation number 1 and 2, we will try to simplify and to try to get the incident voltage and the reflected voltage, because in the equation number 1 and 2 we are getting the total voltages and the total current across the lines, but we want to know among the what are the voltage we are having and what are the currents we are having, what is the incident voltage and what is the reflected voltage and what is the incident current, the reflected current. After getting the equation number 3 and 4, now if ZOI is equal to 1 and Vi plus, that is your incident voltage, is equal to A into I, and Vi minus, that is your reflected voltage, is equal to B into I. It means to say that what we are doing is this, in the equation number 3 and 4, whatever the Vi plus is there, we replace it by Ai term, and Vi minus term is replaced by Bi. Then we can write it as Ai equal to 1 by 2 into Vi plus Ii, and Bi equal to 1 by 2 into Vi minus Ii. Here whatever the I is specified, okay, I is a particular port. The value may be any value from 1 to n. I may be 1, I may be 2, I may be 3. It means it says that on which port or the which line you are measuring the voltage and you are measuring the current. Then we will add the equation 5 and 6. When I add the equation 5 and 6, okay, then I am going to get Vi is equal to Ai plus Bi, and let us call it as in equation number 7, and then subtract the equation 6 from the equation number 5. So then I am going to get it as Ii equal to Ai minus Bi. So call it as an equation number 8. Then we know that V equal to Z into I, okay, that is voltage equal to current into impedance. Now this is a general equation what we are having, but whatever the network we are considering, it is a multi-port network. So therefore we have to calculate the sum of the voltages present in the network due to all the lines or the ports which are connected. Okay. Then when we want to know the voltage or the currents, when all the ports or the lines are to be connected, then you have to take the sum of all the lines or the ports. Okay. See here, our voltage V is equal to Z into I. Now I want to get the voltages at any one particular terminal. So due to the various lines or the source ports connected to the network, so then I have to take the summation. Okay, summation from j equal to 1 to n. Okay, this Z I am replacing it by Zij, and this I am replacing it by Ij, from where I is equal to 1 to n and j equal to 1 to n. Okay, in this equation if you substitute any value of I and any value of j, okay, so then we are going to get the voltage at that particular port. Okay. Then from the equation number 5 and 6, okay, we can write it as, that is equation number 5 can be written in the matrix form. Mean to say that whatever the equation 5 and 6 are there, we will try to write so this particular equation in the matrix form. When you write this particular equation in the matrix form, so this Ai, I am writing it as A, and this 1 by 2 remains same, Vi I am writing it as V, and I am writing it as I. So that is, so this equation AI equal to, with the matrix form, A equal to 1 by 2 into V plus I. So, this equation little bit will modify. So, V is equal to, as you know here, V is equal to I into Z. So, this V we are replacing it by I into Z. Similarly, so equation number 6, Bi is there, you are writing in the matrix form, B is equal to 1 by 2 V minus of I. So, whatever this V is there, you know that V is equal to Z into I. So, you will replace that V is equal to Z into I. So, this equation A and B I can modify it here. A is equal to 1 by 2 Z plus U. What was it? We are taking I outside. When I take the I outside, here I am going to get the 1. So, the 1 can be replaced by identity matrix. And similarly, from this equation, if I take I as outside, here I am going to get it as a 1. 1 can be replaced by an identity matrix. So, therefore, here and here, that is in equation number 9 and equation number 10, we are using the U, where U is one identity matrix. Then from equation number 9, okay, from equation number 9, what you will do? Just cross multiply it. When you cross multiply it, so then it becomes 2 into A. Okay, then 2 into A is equal to Z plus U into I. Okay, then multiply this equation. Okay, multiply this particular equation on both the sides by Z plus U, okay, into U raised to minus 1. Then we are multiplying that equation, then Z plus U raised to minus 1 into Z plus V into I is equal to 2 into Z plus U raised to minus 1 into A. Okay, so that is, so for this equation, for this and for this, where is the left hand side and the right side, we are multiplying. So then I equal to 2 into Z plus U raised to minus 1 into A. So call it as equation number 11. Then use the equation number 11 in equation number 10. We have the equation number 10 here. That is, I is equal to 2 into Z plus U raised to minus 1 into A. So this is equation number 11. Now from the equation number 11, you substitute in equation number 10. When equation 11, you substitute in the equation number 10, so then B is equal to, so Z minus U into Z plus U raised to minus 1. Okay, call it as equation number 12. Then we have B is equal to S into A, that is reflected voltage is equal to S into A, where A is the incident voltages, okay, where S is the scattering matrix. Now compare equation 12 and 13. By comparing the equation and 12 and 13, I can write it as S equal to, so Z minus U into Z plus U raised to minus 1. So call it as equation number 14. Then for the simplification purposes, so let us call Z minus U as P and Z plus U as Q. If you represent like this, so then this equation Z minus U I can replace it by P, Z plus U I can replace it by Q, okay, here is to, that is inverse is there. Then S is equal to P into Q raised to minus 1, so call it as equation number 15. In the today's class, let us study the S parameters of a two-port network with mismatched load. So in this, so the mismatched load means it is not same as the load impedance is not matched with the characteristic impedance. The mismatched load means here, so whatever the transmission line we are using to connect the source and the destinations are connected by two different types of the transmissions lines with the different characteristics. So therefore, so there is a discontinuity will be there. For example, for some particular length of the line, we are using the waveguides, and so with that particular waveguide, suppose we are connecting a coaxial cables. So what happens is, the waveguide and the coaxial cables you are using with the waveguides. So there, so a discontinuity is existing between the waveguides and the coaxial cables. So at that time, we are getting the mismatched load. And the second case is that whenever this transmission line is there in the form of a waveguides, for some particular length of the line, you are having a larger side waveguide, and for another part of the length, you are having a smaller size of waveguides. So then, so there is a discontinuity there. This discontinuity will create a mismatched load. Now, whenever this particular discontinuity is there, an evanescent waves will be excited in the transmission lines. That means, that is, whenever a discontinuity is there or the mismatched load is there, so then an evanescent type of the waves are excited in the transmission lines. And these evanescent waves contains the reactive energy, and this energy decays, that means decreases within a one wavelength of the transmission lines. Now, we want to analyze, so this particular transmission lines where a mismatched load is there with the help of the S parameters. So, for that particular purposes, so let us consider this as a two-port network with a characteristic impedance Z0, where the load impedance is taken as ZL, and the input side where ZG is the generator impedance and VG is the generator voltage. And as you know in the previous class, so whatever the plane we are using here, so here you are having, so this particular plane and you are having another plane at this particular point. So, you can say that, so this is 1 and this is 2 I will talk, and this is 1 dash and I will call it as a 2 dash. Now, so the separation between these two planes is such a way that it is more than one wavelength. It is more than one wavelength. And here, so whatever the voltage is existing, it is proportional to the electrical field, and whatever the current is there, it is proportional to the magnetic fields. Now, let us continue this particular analysis of the two-port network. So, here we are considering the normalized load. Okay, what is normalization? Already you studied in your Smith charts. Whenever a load impedance is divided by a characteristic impedance, we are getting the normalized load. Here we are getting two types of the normalized load, that is ZL divided by Z0. So, that is load impedance divided by characteristic impedance. So, that is this load impedance divided by the characteristic impedance, and then Zg divided by Z0. So, that is the generator impedance, so divided by the characteristic impedance. So, this value is equal to 1. Now, as you know, because it is acting as a mismatched load, whenever the load is mismatched, then a reflected wave you are getting. Whenever a reflected wave will comes, so then a reflection coefficient will come. Okay. Now, so the output reflection coefficient. Okay, that means that here we are getting the two types of the reflection coefficient. One is the input reflection coefficient, and other one is the output reflection coefficient. The reflection coefficient which is occurring at the input side is known as the input reflection coefficient, that we are represented by 2,1, and the reflection coefficient which is occurring at the output side, okay, it is called as output reflection coefficient, and we will call it as 2,2. Okay. Now, we have to calculate, so what is the values of this particular 2,1 and what is the values of this particular 2,2. And this 2,1 and 2,2 will tell us that, so due to this particular mismatch, how much amount of the reflection coefficient will get. Now, output reflection coefficient is given by T2 is equal to A2 divided by B2. Okay. So, then, so T2 equal to can also be calculated from ZL minus Z0 divided by ZL plus Z0. Okay. As you know, reflection coefficient is nothing but the ratio of the reflected voltage to the incident voltage. Now come back to this particular diagram here. So the reflected voltage is A2 and the incident voltage is B2, because whatever the signal you are sending applying here, so the signal is moving toward the load, and so therefore, so this B2 is acting as incident voltage or the incident waves, and A2 is acting as a reflected waves. Therefore, ratio of A2 by B2, we are calling it as a reflection coefficient 2. And this reflection coefficient can also be calculated from the equation ZL minus Z0 divided by ZL plus Z0. So, we will call it as equation number 1. And we know that B1 equal to S11 into A1 plus S12 into A2, and B2 equal to S21 into A1 plus S22 into A2. We will call it as equation number 2. Then once again we will consider the same B1 here. S11 into A1, we will write it as it is, plus S12 into A2 is there. Okay. Here you are having the term A2. Now this A2 term, we have to replace it by some other term. If you go back to this equation, 2 equal to A2 divided by B2. So therefore, so this A2 equal to here, now, so this A2 equal to 2 into B2, because if you cross multiply this, A2 equal to 2 into B2, that is A2 equal to 2 into B2. Now, so this value we will substitute in this equation, that is S12 into B2 into 2, call it as equation number 3. Then B2 equation, once again we will writing it here. So S21 into A1, I am writing it as it is, S22 will write it as, once again, so in this particular equation, okay, I am getting the A2, and already you have calculated the A2 here. Once again substitute this particular A2 here, so that is B2 into 2, call it as equation number 4. Try to simplify this particular equation. How that simplification done is that here you are having the B2, here you are having the A1, and here you are having the B2. Take all the B2s on one side and take all the A1s on the one side. If you want to simplify this, take the B2 on one side, then B2 minus S22 into B2 into 2 is equal to S21 into A1. And from this equation, my B2 equal to S21 into A1, because this term is going to the denominator. So then it is 1 minus S22 into T2. So and this is going to give us the values of B2, which is there at this particular point. Okay. Next, using the equation 5 in 3. So that is, we have equation number 5 here. So this equation number 5, we will try to substitute in equation number 3. So in the equation number 3, if you consider B1 equal to S11 into A1 plus S12 into B2 into 2, here whatever the B2 term is there, so in place of B2, you substitute the equation number 5. If that is the case is there, then B1 equal to S11 into A1 plus S12 into S21 into A1 into 2 divided by 1 minus S22 into 2. Okay. Now, so this is going to give us the value of B1. So now this particular B1 is present at this particular point. Okay. So whatever the B1 is there, so it is at the input side. That means to say that for this mismatched network, so whatever the values of B1 is here and whatever the values of B2 is here, so it will be calculated from this equation and this equation. Okay, 2 parameters you have calculated. Then we will calculate the input reflection coefficient. That is, here T1 is written, T1 is input reflection coefficient and T2 is output reflection coefficient. Now, T1 equal to B1 divided by A1. Okay, T1 equal to B1 divided by A1, because B1 is the reflected wave and A1 is the incident wave. So, you will write it as B1 divided by A1, and from equation 6. Okay. Now, so from this particular equation 6, then we can write it as T1 equal to S11 into S21 into T2, so divided by 1 minus S22 into T2. So, call it as equation number 7. We know that S11 into S11 star. S11 star means it is a complex conjugate of this plus S12 into S12 star is equal to 1. S22 into S22 star plus S12 into S12 star is equal to 1. Okay, and S11 into S12 star plus S12 into S22 star, so the value equal to 0. Let us call so these as equation number 8, 9 and 10. Once you write these equations, then we will compare equation 8 and 9. If you compare equation 8 and 9, here you can observe we have S11 term, and here you can observe S22 term. Okay? Then we can say that S11 is equal to S22. Then after comparing the equation 8 and 9, we got the values of S11 and S12. Next our task is that we have to calculate the values of S12 and S21, because you know that B equal to S into A. So whatever this S is there, so it is S11, S12, S21 and S22. So these are the values are there. Now you want to calculate S11, S12, S21 and S22. Okay, already you got so this value and already we got these values. Now we have to calculate this S12 and S21. Therefore, from equation number 8, S11 S1 star plus S12 into S12 star is equal to S12 square plus S12 square, because so this term we can write it as a square and this value is equal to 1. So therefore, S12 equal to root of 1 minus S11 square. Okay. Now for a normalized load, okay, now here we calculated S12. Now for the next parameter to calculate, for a normalized load input reflection coefficient, tau 1 will not be equal to S11, then tau 1 equal to S11 plus S12 square into tau 2 divided by 1 minus S22 tau 2. And as a network is reciprocal, and in the previous class you studied the reciprocal property. For the reciprocal property, what it is saying is that any parameters, if you measure from input to the output or output to the input, is going to be same, or from sending end to the receiving end and from the receiving end to the sending end, if you measure the parameters, it is looking same. So therefore, S12 is equal to S21. So therefore, we will write it as tau 1 equal to S11 plus S21 square into tau 2 divided by 1 minus S22 into tau 2. And this is all about the S parameters of a two-port network with a mismatched load, where we have calculated tau 1, tau 2, A1, A2, B1, B2, and then the parameters S11, S12, S21 and S22. Now, so let us study the relation between Z, Y and ABCD parameters. We will try to find out the relation of Z, Y and ABCD parameters with our scattering parameters. S11 is calculated from the equation A minus B minus C plus D divided by A minus B plus C minus D, and S12 can be calculated from minus 2 of AD plus BC divided by A minus B plus C minus D, and S22 is equal to minus A minus B minus C minus D divided by A minus B plus C minus D, and S21 is calculated from the equation 2 divided by A minus B plus C plus D. Now, we know that B1 equal to Z11 into A1 plus Z12 into A2, and B2 equal to Z21 into A1 plus Z22 into A2. Okay, so this is going to have the relations in terms of the Z parameters. And in terms of ABCD parameters, V1 equal to AV2 minus BI2, I1 equal to CV2 minus DI2. Call this as equation number 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now in order to further simplify and get the different parameters, now from the equation number 2, so that is take this particular equation, from this particular equation, so we will try to write that I1 equal to V2 divided by Z21 minus Z22 divided by Z2 into I2. So then we will call it as equation number 5. Then compare equation number 4 and 5. So this is our equation number 4 and this is our equation number 5. If you compare this equation, okay, so take this particular term, okay, equation number 5 term, and take this particular term, okay, and compare this equation with respect to the equation number 4. Now in the equation number 4, here you are having C and here you are having the D, because here also V2 is there and here also V2 is there, here also I2 is there and here also I2 is there. So therefore now I can write as C equal to 1 by Z21 and D equal to Z22 divided by Z21. Okay. Next, substitute equation number 5 in equation number 1. Okay. When you substitute equation number 5 in equation number 1, then we will get it as V1 is equal to Z1 into V2 divided by Z21 minus Z22 divided by Z21 into I2 plus Z12 into I2. Okay. Now if you further simplify these equations, so then I will get it as Z11 divided by Z21 into V2 minus of Z11 into Z22 divided by Z21 into Z21 minus Z12 into I2. So what actually we are in the simplification, what we are doing is that all the terms with I2 are taking at on one side and all the terms with respect to V2 we are taking on one side. Now compare the equation 3 with respect to 6. This is your equation number 6 and this is your equation number 3. When you want to compare this, see here, so this is the term what you are having and here this is the term what you are having. Okay. Similarly equation number this one, so this is the term you are having and this is the term you are having. Okay. And here also V2 is there and here also V2 is there. And here also I2 is there and here also I2 is present. Okay, this is a term what we are having. Now therefore I can write it as A equal to Z11 divided by Z21 and my B equal to Z11 Z22 divided by Z21 minus Z12. Okay. Now what thing we have done is that all the parameters, ABCD parameters, we have represented in terms of Z parameters. Okay. Then that is these Z parameters we are represent in terms of ABCD parameters. Next what you will do that, try to represent, so these ABCD parameters in terms of Y parameters. So for that purposes, I1 equal to Y11 into V1 plus Y12 into V2 and I2 equal to Y21 into V1 plus Y22 into V2, call it as equation number 7 and 8. And from the equation number 8, okay, I can write V1 equal to Y22 divided by Y21 into V2 plus 1 by Y21 into I2, call it as equation number 9. Now compare equation number 9 with the equation number 3. Okay. When you compare equation number 9 with equation number 3, so here we have this term and here we have so this term. Okay. And here also V2 is there and here also V2 is there and here I2 is there and here I2 is there. Okay. Therefore now I can write as A equal to minus Y22 divided by Y21 and B is equal to minus 1 by Y21. Okay. Then substitute equation number 9 in equation number 7. Okay. In the equation number 7, that is the equation number 9, we want to substitute the equation number 7. If you substitute it, say then I1 equal to Y11 into minus of y22 divided by y21 into V2 plus 1 by y21 into I2 plus y12 into V2. Then, so what you will do, take all the I2 terms on one side and take all the V2 terms on one side, because this equation contains I2 and V2 terms. Separate this I2 and V2 terms. When you separate I2 and V2 terms, I am going to get, so these particular values. Then now compare, so this equation number 10 with respect to equation number 4. When you compare equation number 10 with equation number 4, so here you have this particular term and here you have, so this particular term, and here V2 is there and here V2 is there and here I2 is there and here also I2 is there. So therefore, so this C is equal to this term and this particular D is equal to this term. So therefore I can write C is equal to y12 minus y11 y22 divided by y21 and D equal to my y11 so divided by y21. Okay, so this is how you can show, so the relation between Z, Y and ABCD parameters, and these relations we can get, okay, by comparing the different values, once with the Z parameters with the ABCD parameters and once Y parameters with the ABCD parameters. What this particular thing is indicating, that if you have one parameter values, you can get the other parameter values. Okay, so this is all about this relation between the various parameters.